Good afternoon, students. This is Dr. Morgan Phoenix coming to you from Stanley, Virginia. It's a beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon. We're going into week 6. You have just the two familiar assignments that you'll be working on and submitting this week, and there'll be a chance for you to get some tips and pointers on the week 7 and the week 8 assignments today in this video. I'll try to make this short though, but it's been a beautiful day. I had a church service this morning where a local evangelist friend of mine filled in for the pastor who was out of town, and we were challenged. We were truly challenged about our mission and our walk in this world. Then I drove north to Middletown, up to Lord Fairfax Community College, where I served as dean for a number of years after I retired from the high school here. And there was a ceremony there honoring the 125 high school students from the region, from the regional area, the service area, the 7 counties and municipalities. And these are students that are in high school yet receiving their associate degree or a certificate of completion, 33 college credits or more. Okay, and 125 of them, and they haven't graduated from high school yet. And the proud part of this was that Page County, where I live, where I serve, where I was on the principal of the high school here and serve on the school board, Page County accounted for the largest proportion of those students. 34 students from Page County. Now, Page County is known for its generational poverty and for the highest unemployment rate anywhere in the area. And here we go. Our students somehow or another have been encouraged to do these programs and to get ahead. 34 of them, and we're so proud. But here we go. Okay, we have the journal article critique and discussion board. Most everybody's doing very well on both of them. A student did ask a good question as to why am I encouraging you to begin the journal article critique with the author's thesis in the first statement. Well, it's very clear, and I mark off a point typically if you begin with what looks like the beginning to an essay on a subject. Okay, because you're not writing an essay on a subject, you are writing a critique of another person's work. So that's why the APA citation goes at the top. And this is established by the course designer, not by me. I love it. I love it anyway. Okay, the APA citation goes at the top because that's what we're working on. And then you begin with the author's thesis in your own words. First sentence. Begin with the author's name. Okay, Dr. Smith tells us that, or Dr. Smith believes that, and then what is it in one sentence? Just get it out like that. And then you follow up with the supporting information from Dr. Smith, not yet what you believe about it, not yet what the general issue is in the world, but just what Dr. Smith is telling us, okay, and what her work means, okay. That comes further on down. Okay, this is a flow of thought, okay, a flow of thought, clarity of thought, and it flows from the article, what the person is telling us, and then the kind of strategies. And I'm always looking for specifics and strategies and interventions that are defined and described in that article. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love to track and comment on that and list them and find out that you are finding these things. Okay, and then how they might apply, and or was the study done well? Was it complete? Did it include everything you wanted? And then how does this relate to you? You're concluding a couple of statements about the connection to, and I love the personal connection. This is a great article for my project. Okay, this is a great article for the school in which I work. Perfect. Okay, and it's a flow of thought. It's clarity of thought and economy of effort. Period. Alrighty. Hope that's enough. All right, here we go. For week 7, let's look ahead a little bit. You have a case study number 2. You will choose one of the 3 case studies that are given to you. The case of Dan is a disciplinary issue, or a case of Emily, which is a profound special education issue, and then Robert, which is cultural sensitivity. You read through these 3 case studies, then choose the one that resonates for you, and that maybe is tied in a little bit to the work that you're doing in the world. And there are some questions that are asked, and what do you think? How would you respond? Very general questions in a couple of these. That's for that one. There was for Emily. What do you think? How would you respond? And then take it from there. Again, it's still a 4-page assignment, 1-page summary, 1.5-page summary, the SWOT, and then the case recommendations. Okay, and where do you go for your best information on how to maximize your points in this? Go back to my comments on your case study number 1, and if you do that, I guarantee you do well. Alrighty. Let's move on also now to the diverse school proposal part 2, which is due in week 8. Okay, so you have plenty of time for this, but the time is running short. This course is almost over for all intents and purposes. It really is. Okay. The diverse school proposal, part 2 instructions are here, okay, and it lists 8 headings, okay. Go through and read them. 8 headings. There's an introduction, a mission and vision of the school, marketing and community outreach, program description, governance, accountability, budget, and conclusion. Okay, you must use all of them. You must have all 8 headings. I'm going to give you a sheet of paper that shows it really carefully and clearly. It also gives you some subheadings. I want to tell you that you are not required to answer each and every one of these subheadings. Make sure that you use the ones that really pertain to your project, and you'll see that as you look at them. You say, well, my goodness, why am I doing this? You know, it's a charter school. Why am I going so deeply into the funding? Because it's gonna flow from the local school board's budgets, that kind of a thing. Alrighty, but and where is it here? Yes, the part 2 has 8 headings. All right, they're 20 points each. You can't afford to leave any of these out. If you would leave one out, you lose 20 points. And it's happened where people have said I guess they run out of time, and they leave accountability out, which of course is very, very, very important, strategically very, very important. Or they leave out, if you leave out the program description, I guarantee I won't give you 1 point, because that is the heart of that's the heart of the project, part 2. Okay. And so take a look at that. If you have any questions, let me know, or put it into the forum and discussion board, the Ask Dr. Phenix forum. Okay, 8 headings. You got to use them all. You may emphasize some more than others. I'm sure that you will emphasize program description over most of the others, and accountability, which is very, very important. You know, and what's the purpose of accountability? Well, how well did we do? How well are we meeting our mission and vision? You know, our project's goals and outcomes. You know, how are we? You know, how successful are we, so that we can design again a little bit further as to how we're going to do it. And then finally, before I go any further, you can present your final project in either a traditional essay text format or a PowerPoint, if you're going to do a PowerPoint. If you're going to do a PowerPoint, and I love just looking at this even, you know, minimal text on the screen. You cannot just put you've seen those PowerPoints where it's just a bunch of reading, you know, where the presenter reads from the slides, reads right off the top of the slides, and the same slides that the audience is looking at, and by slide number 6 or 7, people are looking, trying to find out how many slides there are going to be. Somebody asked about how many slides should be in a PowerPoint. For this project, you would probably have to have at least 8 or 9. Okay, a title, and then there are 8 headings. And you, of course, would probably want to have a reference slide. I know one of the samples apparently doesn't have any reference in it. I'm not quite sure why. It must have been presented separately, because there probably has to be some reference if you were, particularly your demographics, some of that stuff. All right, alrighty. And but the text, all of the text goes into the speaker's notes. The details of a good PowerPoint are in the speaker's notes, and that makes you the expert in the room. Alrighty. The text weakens your presentation. It bores people to death if they have to read it along with you. This assignment, by the way, will be presented in 2 places. It will be presented and submitted, rather, in both live text, your live text account, which is your professional portfolio. Okay, and I make no comments or grading marks on your live text presentation. I don't. I'll make some comments in the submission box there, but nothing on the document itself. Okay, that's your business there, and then you'll submit it in Blackboard as well. That's because in Blackboard it's tied to your total grade points, and for the course. Alrighty, I think that's it for today. I don't have any dog. I guess there's one. You can see one over on the top of the chair there. They're asleep. There's one in the chair. No, it's a cat. My son-in-law and my daughter are living here with us. They have 4 cats, and so we have their 4 cats, our 1 cat, and our 3 dogs. It's awful. It's beloved. It's wonderful. Okay, that's it for today. I think that's enough. I think I've covered everything that I wanted to. I had a couple notes here. Oh yes, I had at the meeting up at Lord Fairfax. The main presenter happened to be the superintendent of schools from Page County, and she's a dynamite lady. I'm telling you, she knows her stuff, and she has worked all of her 40 years in the business of education in Page County. Though she's not from here, she's from Northern Virginia, from Fairfax. So go figure. You know, but people who come to this county love staying here. She said, and she praised the students that were there, the 125 students, for their choice, for making a choice. Okay, that they decided to do this. They decided to to get their governor's certificate or their associate degree prior to graduate. They decided at some point along the way. They made this choice, and they, of course, then had to weigh the alternatives of how they're going to expend their time, studying or playing around on or sports or athletics, that kind of a thing. Sometimes you have to make, but choice, and then the definitive action toward an end. Okay, which puts you in control. That's the strategic business that we're talking about here as well, where you decide where you want to go. You have this. You make this life's choice that we're going there. We have intended best outcomes, and then you take those definitive actions toward your end. That's the strategic process, and that's what I'm talking about here. And as much as you can include that in your final project, include that in your journal article critiques, the more the better. Hope you're doing well. I appreciate your standing by for maybe a few, not quite as many comments on your journal article critiques or your discussion board this week. We'll find that's going to be the case whenever we have 3 assignments. I know you feel the pressure as well. Hope you're doing well, and we'll see you again next time, Lord willing. Bye-bye.